Thank you very much. Welcome. Good evening. Today is Monday, the 8th, 2023 Committee on Urban Development and Renewal and Planning, and I call this meeting to order. Please clerk call the roll.
Chairwoman Harris, absent. Vice Chairman Machado,
Present.
Councilman Gonzalez, absent. Councilwoman Graves, present. Councilwoman Vargas, present. 3 present, 2 absent. We have a quorum.
Thank you very much. I also would like to recognize Attorney Martone, who's present with us here today, and also Kyle Delgado from our office. Thank you very much. And Ms. Green. May I have a motion to substitute an item number 1? Communication from the audience. There's a motion by Councilwoman Graves, seconded by Councilwoman Vargas. Any discussion? Seeing none, all those in favor? Aye. The motion passes unanimously. Before us is item number substitute A, substitute A. We have Ms. Freeman. Please, if you can just explain to us what the changes and elaborate, and there might be possible vote on this item too. So as we vetted it enough. Before you speak, I just wanted to say that Councilwoman Harris, Mary Kay Harris couldn't be here with us, but she has another commitment in the community. So she's missed, but she's put on a lot of work and the diligence on making sure that the organizations that are going to be discussed and also the funding that we're going to be getting out there to our communities, she's done her due diligence. Thank you. Welcome.
Did you want me to swear her in?
Yes, please.
Please raise your right hand. Do you swear under the penalty of perjury that the testimony you are about to give is the truth, the whole truth, and nothing but the truth, so help you God?
Right.
Please state your full name and title for the record, please.
Emily Freeman, Director of the Division of Housing and Community Development and Planning.
Thank you.
You may begin.
Good evening, everyone. I'm pleased to join you again this evening on behalf of the 2023-2024 Entitlement Funding Program Year Budget. What we have now done is substituted the communication from the mayor for the ordinance format. As you may recall, it is necessary to pass the budget out of this committee in ordinance form. This substitution A mirrors that communication without any changes. So this is simply the budget that we have been reviewing and discussing over the last many weeks in ordinance format. This must then proceed and be voted out of this committee so that we can then have the 2 necessary city council full passages, which will then enable us to build this budget out into a larger annual action plan, which is a large narrative plan with performance objectives that we will then submit to HUD for HUD final review and approval. It's important to note that that final action plan is subject to its own federally required 30-day comment period and 1 final additional public hearing. The goal is to have all of this accomplished prior to July 1st, so that we will have no interruptions in any agency contracts, and hopefully have the funding arrive from HUD this summer. We can take advantage of the summer and fall construction season. So again, our goal is to pass this out for the upcoming docket deadline, so that we will be able to conduct the city council passages in May and June. So I am here to answer any final questions that we might have. And I want to just take a moment to thank the council, particularly the chair and vice chair, for your due diligence throughout this process, your collaboration throughout this process to ensure that this has been very fair, transparent, and thoughtful budget deliberation. Of course, we all know and recognize, and it's important to say on the record, that this was an incredibly difficult round of decisions due to the tremendous amount of asks, as well as the depth of need in our community. So this is the result of many weeks of thoughtful deliberations, and I thank you all for your collaboration in this process.
Thank you, Ms. Friedman. Any questions of Ms. Friedman in the details, or she indicated it was thorough, but you may still have some questions on, but just a elaboration on any item that you may want to hear as an explanation.
No, they kind of went over it in the last thing. I think you guys did a thorough job. I feel bad that so many didn't get a chance to get anything in this, because all of them were worthy for it.
Oh, thank you. Councilwoman Vargas?
My question is a concern, the Silver Lake Community Center,
Yes.
this is the amount can you see?
So the Silver Lake Community Center is slated to receive 58,000, which is close to level over prior years.
So not a whole lot has changed from the discussion and also from the request, at least what I'm seeing. Just any other questions? No. Just have a question in terms of the sidewalk repair. Can you just briefly just elaborate a little bit?
Yes, and I actually do have a map that was requested by Chairwoman Harris, which I'm happy to distribute if it's provided to that and give it.
Excellent. You may be. Yes.
Do we need to take a vote?
Yeah, we want to enter this into the.
Oh, yes. So I'd like to enter this, the SS4A, both with the low mod areas as a item, number one, as, what do you call it, the evidence, exhibit number one. So before us is exhibit number one, the agreement.
I make a
The
motion.
motion.
I make a motion.
Councilwoman, Graves, makes a motion. Is there a second? Seconded by Councilwoman Vargas. Any discussion? Seeing none. All those in favor? Motion carries. Come before us.
Thank you all. Before you is a map that overlays the potential safe streets for all grant scope with CDBG eligible areas. So to provide some background, the city applied for and has been awarded US DOT federal funding for what's called the Safe Streets for All initiative, which is a federally funded program through the infrastructure, essentially the infrastructure bill, which provides dedicated federal funding to support local road safety projects. And so when the city initially applied last fall, there were areas and a scope that was identified as part of that application. What we have done here is overlay that scope was submitted to USDOT with the CDBG eligible areas. If you're not familiar, CDBG can support infrastructure improvements in low and moderate income census block groups, which on this map are the areas in blue. So areas that are in blue that are also part of the Safe Streets network or are intersections identified for improvements are potentially those areas where we can amplify the work or conduct parts of work with the CDBG line item for sidewalks. So the Safe Streets for All grant and those areas are those areas where the planning department conducted an analysis using public safety data to identify the least safe and heavily trafficked areas of the city. And so you will see a number of intersections that are slated for improvements if funding permits. So when the CDBG budget was put together, a line item for sidewalks was identified to further amplify this work. And so we look forward to continued conversations around this scope of work and more discussions before this project moves to any final design area.
Any questions? Ms. Freeman? Questions? I do. So the map that you just provided us, we have different colors and numbers. Can you just walk us through
Sure. So my understanding from my colleagues is that the areas in yellow
Yeah.
are existing improvements that need to be upgraded or repairs that need to be made to existing infrastructure. And the areas in green are where infrastructure is entirely lacking and needs to be installed. So there's a new construction component to this ask of USDOT, and then also improvements to existing infrastructure. And that's the green is new construction, yellow is the improvements to existing infrastructure.
Thank you very much. That makes it, with the public news, right? When they see this map,
Absolutely.
that there's gonna be some work in their communities. For those who were lucky enough to meet the criteria based on HUD criteria. So,
Absolutely. So the goal is to, there's going to be a due diligence done over the next few months to determine with the amount that was awarded through USDOT, how much can be accomplished. There will be some final design and engineering, and ultimately we believe this construction will commence in spring of 2024.
thank you. Seeing no further questions, is there a motion to accept the amended item that was before us? Councilwoman Graves makes a motion, seconded by Councilwoman Vargas. Any discussion? Any further discussion? Seeing no further discussion, all those in favor?
I,
The motion passes unanimously.
Yeah, do you typically, would they need a motion to send it to, are you sending it to the full council?
It's the, yes. So it's been approved as amended, so I think it's, yep,
So
so.
the
it's all
measure, the measure has been approved as amended.
Yeah.
So I would entertain a motion to send the amended substitute A to the full council.
Yeah.
Councilwoman Graves makes the motion, seconded by Councilwoman Vargas. Any discussion? Seeing none, all those in favor? It was opposed, the motion carries unanimously. Thank you very much. Thank you, Ms. Reed. We get to go home early.
Many thanks, and many thanks again for your diligence and collaboration in this process.
Thank you, and thank you very much, and for all the hard work that you did, and also Kyle Delgado.
Absolutely.
On behalf of the councilwoman and chairwoman, Mary Kay Harris, she thanks you, and I'm sure she's gonna thank you personally, especially on the floor.
Thank you all. We look forward to deploying these dollars.
Absolutely. Thank you. Appreciate it. Have a good one. Clerk, can you please read item number 2 into the record?
Communication from Council President Rachel M. Miller dated March 10, 2023, transmitting the Providence External Review Authority application to the Committee on Urban Redevelopment, Renewal, and Planning. Discussion and possible vote for recommendation of 3 Providence External Review Authority para applicants to the City Council.
Thank you. Mr. Corley, please go ahead before us.
Good evening.
The clerk will actually swear you in.
Please raise your right hand. Do you swear under the penalty of perjury that the testimony you're about to give is the truth, the whole truth, and nothing but the truth? So help you God.
I do.
Please state your name and title for the record, please.
Clarence Crowley, Executive Director of Providence External Review Authority.
Thank you.
Welcome, Mr. Corley.
Thank you.
Do you have any recommendations for us to consider?
I do, Councilman. After the review of the applications and the interviews that we all sat through in the last 2 meetings, I recommend the following 3 people pass out of committee to be sent to the council to be appointed to the Providence External Review Authority Board. Ivan Montanez Montoya, Rebecca A. Bucci, and Knight G.
Can you say that? Say it again, please.
Sure. The first one is Ivan Montanez Montoya. The second is Rebecca A. Bucci, and I can give you this with their names on it. So you have it. And Knight Jean Muhingaba.
Thank you very much. So before us are three members that are recommended by Mr. Caroli. As you remember that we went through an extensive hearing and questioning by Mr. Caroli and some of us. So before you, that's the recommendation. Anything, you have any question on Mr. Caroli?
Yes, I wanted to know how you came about choosing these three.
So, sure, so the process was reviewing the applications and resumes. And then also after assessing the performance on the interview panel, then deciding based on those two factors and the current makeup of the board, who has the best. And I'll just say that everyone that came and applied was excellent. They were all excellent applicants, and we were very thrilled to have so many qualified and good applicants show interest. And it was too bad that we couldn't pick more. But the three that I did finally select had, in my opinion, the best characteristics to augment the current parent board based on the combination of their ties to the diverse populations of the community, relevant experience in their resumes, and specialized skills that complement the current board membership.
Any further question, Councilwoman Graves?
I think I asked that you kind of tell us what the makeup of the board was already, so you can tell, so we understand how these selections fit. So, because there were some very strong people. Yeah, there were some weeks, not too, but there were some very strong people in there. And you're saying ties to the community and their expertise and their special skills, is that what you said?
Correct.
Okay. Ties to the community, or not all of them had that out of this group that you had. So that's why I'm questioning. I think the specialized skills and stuff, I think they definitely have that. And the expertise. But how are they? What about these three? But you will complement what you already have.
So what we have on the board right now, so we have three active members currently. Ms. Sunita Fidley, Ms. Deborah Ray, and Mr. Darrell Williams. Two of them have backgrounds in counseling and social work already, which mirrored a lot of the applicants that were not chosen. Ms. Fidley works in the healthcare industry as well. We have ties to the Asian American community, the Black community, and we don't have ties currently on the board to the Latin American community. We don't have ties, like Mr. Mungabo is young and also has excellent ties to the refugee community, speaks multiple different languages, which brings a nice skill set to the board as well. And Ms. Bucci has that technical expertise and that ability to take data that para is going to be collecting while we do complaints and reviews, and be able to actually, with her specialized background, her PhD in police-related studies, with her very impressive CV, can go to Harvard and actually, and she indicated that she's able to take that information and do a study through the schools, which would be able to provide the city with very useful information as far as number crunching and data analysis to see where our efforts as far as policy review, recommendations and advice back to the police department from a community-centered focus would have the most effect and impact, and hopefully minimizing the most common and most prevalent complaints that we get and improve services back to the community. So the combination of these three add a certain skill set collectively that augments what we currently have.
Any further questions? Councilwoman Vargas?
Good
Councilwoman-
selection,
Thank you.
I love it.
Great. Thank you very much, Councilman. And, Mr. Calaway. So before us are three recommendations. At this time, what we'll do is, vote on all three of them together. All right, and then, once we vote, through and approved, or if approved, then, the city council, the clerk will draft a letter, with the recommendation to the city council, the entire city council. Sounds good?
So then
Is there-
You don't do it in a group.
You want them individually? Okay. So, we'll go with the individual.
So you're gonna do, he's given them to you collectively, so you need to vote on it collectively.
Yes, but I think we need to review them before we vote on them.
Was that? So we're,
We're voting them together. You're approving
Together, it has to be collected.
Yeah,
they have to be collective?
yeah.
Okay, so,
Okay.
we have to do it collective. So is there a motion to approve all, nominated members, by Mr. Caroli to the para board? Is there a motion?
You can make that.
Councilwoman Vargas makes the motion, seconded by,
I'll second it, but I do want to.
with further discussion. So the motion has been made, seconded by, has been made by Councilwoman Vargas, seconded by Councilwoman Althea Graves. Any discussion?
Okay, my discussion is, I looked at, because I was not able to make the first one, so I looked at it and I went over everybody else's resume. And then I was able to sit in and do the second one.
Mhm.
The discussion is, if there's three criteria, and to me, there's one person only fit one. I'm a little leery about that. But you know more about what you need on your route than I do. I don't sit there. But I would like, and if it's acceptable, I would like to ask the two ladies behind you who are on it. What do you think of these three people?
So the motion is before us. That was
That's what I was-
presentation.
Yeah, I was trying to get that. Okay,
Oh,
okay.
you didn't ask. You didn't-
Yeah, I'm sorry.
But the motion before us is that now is before our approval.
I will vote, but I think from now on, I would like to sure go more into that because there is actually questions.
Yeah. Any further discussion?
Nope.
So I would say this is that, I didn't come to the first one. I missed it too. I was here for the second one and it was very thorough questioning of the director and, second director. But also I had the opportunity to review, a lot of the, resumes and just also go back a little bit of, the YouTube videos. So I think that, overall, it is an important role that the board members have, especially in the minority community and especially in the city of Providence. I think that, serving on boards or even as a city council people, we bring different expertise or experience in the neighborhood. And I think that now is a very complimented board. And so I praise the people that applied. And as as the director indicated, they can still also be involved and also reach out and how to participate and learn throughout the time. So that's my as I say, my summary on the hearings. And so I think that the nominations that we put forward is a well-balanced one. And I think that we, as city council people, will be also very attentive to the para board and also involved in our community. So thank you very much for all your hard
Thank
work and also being present. The members that are here, where it's before us for a vote, and we definitely will, at any time, as a city council, people are always available to answer your calls or at least answer some of your questions. Okay? Thank you. So the motion is before us, and it has been seconded. All those in favor?
Aye.
All those opposed? The motion carries. And so that concludes pretty much the business for today. As I stated before, that the clerk will prepare a letter to the city council and informing of the 3 recommendations for the para board. So there being no further business, is there a motion to adjourn?
Was that too quick?
There is a motion by
Okay.
Councilwoman Graves. Is there a second? Second by Councilwoman Vargas. All those in favor?
Aye.
The motion carries. Meeting adjourned. All right.
Amen. Congratulations.
Thank you.